Okay, so the first step is to get the grid on your picture. Everybody's picture is going to have a 1 by 1 inch grid. You're going to mark 1 inch across the top, 1 inch across the bottom. You're starting with the 0 on the left edge of the image. You're drawing your vertical lines to connect the dots. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Mark 1 inch. Do the same thing across the bottom. And then draw your vertical lines again. Now you have a 1 by 1 inch grid. We're going to draw the grid on our black paper. Everyone's going to have a different size sheet of black paper. Your grid on your black paper might be 2 inches, it might be 3. So you're going to do the same thing on your paper. This grid is going to be every 2 inches. I'm starting with 0 on the left edge of my paper, marking every 2 inches across the top, mark every 2 inches across the bottom, draw my vertical lines. Okay, you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So the same thing we did on this sheet, on our image, the 1 by 1 inch grid, we're going to do it the same way on here. This time it was just a little bit wider. It was every 2 inches. Okay. The next step is to do a right brain contour line drawing, and we're going to use the grid to help us out. You're going to focus on one box at a time. You're going to transfer over one box at a time from right to left, row by row. Okay. So I'm going to zoom into this first box. My first box here is all black. It has nothing in there, so I'm leaving my first box blank. My second box does have a shape. The shape right here. I'm going to transfer that over here. So I'm going to find where this line, the top edge of my shape, where it enters my box and where it exits my box. Enters my box somewhere here, and it exits somewhere there. And then you're going to do right brain drawing and copy. Connect those dots and copy that line as best as you can. Okay? I'm going to move over to the next box. I have a white shape in here. I'm going to find where it enters, where it exits. It enters here, exits around here. And then I'm going to connect my dots. Okay? Bottom edge of my box is here. Okay, next box. My line enters here, it exits here. Connecting the dots and copying that edge as best as I can. Right brain drawing. Okay. As soon as you're done with all of the boxes and you've completed the contour line drawing, you're going to erase the entire grid. Okay. From the background and within your object that you're drawing. So you're erasing the entire grid. Okay. The next step is to draw a 5-point value scale. We're going to use a 5-point value scale. Okay. You're going to just draw a rectangle, split it up into 5 sections. Number them 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 is going to be black. We're leaving that blank. Number 1 is going to be our lightest value. So we're using the charcoal pencil to shade this in, applying lots of pressure. This is our lightest value. Use the blender to blend that in. So that's my number 1. My number 2 is going to be slightly darker. Even darker, and my 4 is going to be almost black. And we want a nice nice transition from
Light to dark.
okay. You're going to be referring to this value scale. So as soon as you're done with your value scale and you've erased your grid, what you're going to do is you're going to fill in the entire space, well my figure here, the face, the hair, and the neck, with the value number 2, and you're going to do that by sprinkling in the charcoal. You're going to hold the charcoal stick above the paper and then scrape the charcoal stick with the scissors so the charcoal dust can fall onto the paper. I'm going to do this small area here. Okay. And then you're going to take the tissue and you're going to blend that in. And you want a value number 2, so you want it to match your value number 2 on your value scale. I need to go a little bit lighter. I'm going to add another layer. Just in that area. I'm going to use my tissue to blend that in. Okay, so once I have a foundation, I'm going to come in with these 3 tools. The charcoal pencil to add in my lighter values, with my black eraser to erase the shadows or the darker values, and then the blender to blend everything in and make it look nice and smooth. So I'm going to come in here now with my eraser and I'm erasing my shadows. I'm going to clean my edge up here. It's my charcoal dust spread. So I'm going to erase my edge. And then I'm going to come in and erase my shadow. So wherever you see a shadow in the picture, you're going to erase. I'm only going to work on this small area here. So I erase my shadows and I'm going to come in here and add my lighter highlights. So I'm kind of using this cross-hatching technique. I'm also going to blend more of a solid value in here. So I'm going to come in with my blender and blend this area in. Okay, so you're just adding lighter highlights and erasing your shadows.